Hello everybody, in this tutorial I'll be showing you how you can generate this graphical user interface to generate QR codes. First you'll need to enter an URL in this text box, for example www.google.com, and then you need to select the format in which you want to choose, in which you want to save the QR code. In this case I'll choose .png and hit generate QR, and it says success. And now I'll just exit the app and go to my files, and there is a QR code generated here over here. If I scan this QR code, it will redirect me to google.com. That was the URL that I had entered. So let's get started. First you'll need to install few libraries of Python. For that you need to open up your terminal and type pip install pyqr code. As you can see, mine is already installed. The next library we'll be needing is pypng, which is also installed. Next we'll be needing a library called datetime. Which is also installed. So I'll just close the terminal and open up your favorite IDE. I'll just close this. I'll zoom in a bit. Alright, so let's get started. First we'll be importing tkinter as tk. Then we'll import pyqr code module. Next from pyqr code module we'll import QR code, and next we'll import PNG, and next we'll import date time. Now we'll need to create a window. For that I'll just take a random variable win, and I'll create a window for that, and now I have to keep it in loop. So window dot main loop, this will keep my window running in loop. As you can see, this is a window created. Now we'll manipulate on this window. As you can see, this is named after a TK. There's no name currently. So first we'll name the window. For that, window dot title. This should be under double quotes. And now when we hit run, now you can see the name has changed to QRify. Next we'll need to set geometry for the window, that is the dimension for height and breadth of the window. For that, win dot geometry, you'll need to specify the dimensions. For the window I'll just specify 400, and you are not supposed to put the asterisk sign, you're supposed to put small x. And the breadth, height, sorry, now you can see the geometry of the window has changed to this dimensions. I'll just place it over here. Now we need to write this sentence and text box. For that we'll write label equals capital L label. It's a standard function. We need to specify the master, that is root, win in this case, and next we need to name it QR code for. And now we need to specify the location for this. For that, label dot grid, and when you are placing the widget in your window, you're not supposed to specify the master, as it is already understood by the interpreter. So in this case, I'll place my uh, this generate QR code for line on row 0 and column 0. So this places my window, this places my generate QR code for line and at the at row 0 and row and column 0 location. When I hit run, as you can see, this is already placed over here. And now we need to give the text box like this. For that, entry equals tk dot entry tk dot entry. You need to specify the master, again it's win, short for window, and entry dot. Now you need to place this widget. For that, you will need to do entry dot grid, and I'll place this on row 0. Row 0, and column 1. And now when we run this, see, as you can see, it's generated. The next step is this choose format. We need to specify this option list drop down menu and this text over here to specify it. For that, we'll need to create options. Option list equals, these are square braces, and we'll specify them under double quotes .png separated by commas .svg. The last parameter is not the last object is not specified, separated with a comma. Only the in between elements are separated with a comma. So this is the option drop down menu, the option list for drop down menu. So now we need to display these options. For that, I'll create a variable option display equals tk dot label. First we need to display this text, this choose format text. So I'll create a label for that, attach it to Windows, win, option display dot grid, and now I have to place that widget on my window. For that, I'll use grid option, grid function, row equals 1, column equals 0. There's a correction here. You need to specify the text equals choose format, and now when you hit run, it will show this option. And the next is this list. You need to create display this pop down menu. For that, I'll create a variable called format option tk dot string var. I need to specify the master. In this case, it's win. Dot set. I need to specify the first default, as in the first default format option, or the option that is present in the list once you open the window. In this case, I'll set it to PNG. So I'll just mention option list of 0. Now we need to display this. So for that, opt equals tk dot option menu. I need to specify the master as window win, and the variable that I had created, which is this format option, and I need to pass the list of options that we had created. This is the list, and we'll pass it by with star asterisk option list. We need to configure this window. Config, we'll set the width equals 5, font equals, you can choose any font for this. For instance, I'll choose Korea 10, and I need to mention the font size, it's 12. And now I need to place this widget on my window. For that, opt.grid row 1 and column 1. And now once you hit this and hit run, you can see these two options, .png and .svg. So next thing we need to do is create these buttons, generate QR and exit app, and we need to give this background color for this. To generate buttons, all we need to do is we need to create a variable first, QR button. It could be anything. Variables can be named after anything, but make sure it follows the nomenclature. Button equals tk dot button. I'm using autocomplete function, so it is already fetching me the master and text. I need to specify what text should the button contain. In this case, it is generate QR. If you can choose the background color, bg equals, I'll set it to black. You can set it to any color, or you can even use hash and the hex value for the colors. You can even choose the foreground. I'll set the foreground to white and font to Korea 10 again. And we need to specify the function. For that function, what this button should do. We haven't defined any function yet, so we'll do that quickly. Define QR generate. This is the user defined function. So I'll complete this function later on, but now I'll fill in this. Command equals QR generate. So this is the function, this is my default function, and make sure you are not passing any function call braces in the command, this parameter. So now coming back to this function, first the function consists of mainly three parts: taking the input, deciding what the format for the QR is, and then generating and saving. So for that, to take the input first, I'll create a variable text. That text shall contain the data collected from the text widget that we had created, and I'll create another variable site that will hold text. so it will be easier in the next process steps. Value equals format option dot get. Now this value shall contain the value that was, I'll just show you. Okay, fine. So this value shall contain the option that the user has chosen. For example, if I choose .png format, this variable shall hold that the user has chosen .png format to save the QR code, and I'm using this format, I'm sorry, it should be format option. This is the same as this variable that I had created, and .get is a standard function of the library, and I'm using that function to fetch the option that user has chosen. And now URL equals pyqr code dot create. This function shall take a parameter which is the URL that you need to create the QR code for. In this case, it's site contains the text, which contains the text that the user enters basically. So I'll just pass this variable site. It shall contain the URL, whatever URL of the text, whatever the user wishes to. And now I need to save that. I'll name this variable as save as. Now this is an interesting step, because you need to create a QR code. You need to save the QR code with the current time of generation or any other particular name. So I'm just going with saving the QR code as the current time of generation, which as you can see, this is the date and time that this QR code was created. It says 22/24/35. It's in 24-hour format. You can also choose the 12-hour format. For that, I'll go date and time dot sorry. Now I need to format this with the time format. So for that, str f time, and here I'll need to specify the format for the date and time. It starts with year, followed by month, sorry, it's small m, and again followed by day, and now followed by the hours, minutes, and seconds. This should be a colon, not a hyphen. Yeah, so we're good to go. And next we need to check if the user has chosen PNG or SVG, so that we can save the QR code in with the particular format. For that, I'll take a simple if else statement. If value equals .png, I'm going to save the file as .png, URL .png, name the file with QR, followed by save as. Now this save as holds the current date and time that the QR has been generated at, and we'll again format it with .png, and we need to provide a scale factor, which could be anything. I'm just giving it as an 8. And next, else if value equals .svg, the same happens, the opposite happens again. URL.svg, we need to specify the name QR, save as, and again the extension, which is .svg, and again a scale factor. I'll give just 8, and after this I need to print success message. For that I'll create label tk dot, sorry, I need to specify the master, which is window win, and text equals success. You can give background anything, background color. I'll just give it black, and foreground as green. You know what, I'll just give foreground as 00ff00. The hex value for shade of green, it's not the regular green, it's a different shade of green. And now I'll have to place this window in. I'll have to place this widget in the window. Label.grid row equals 4 and column equals 0. Now I've not used row 3 and row 2 anywhere, and I've directly jumped to row 4. Why is that so? I'll explain it in the further steps. QR button dot grid, I'll place this in row 2 and column 0. So if we run this now, you can see this shows the button now. So I'll just run this now and show you. The generate button is now available. So I'll just enter a URL www.google.com, and I'll choose a format PNG and hit generate QR. As you can see, the QR is generated. As you can see, the QR is generated already. Now we need to make an exit app button and change the background for the UI. For that, we'll name a button quit button. We'll name this variable as quit button, and tk dot button, we need to specify the master, it's window. Text is exit app. Background, I'll just give background as red. Foreground as yellow, and command as window.quit. I need to place this for button first. Quit button.grid. I need to specify the row and column. Row will be 4, no, row will be 3 and column will be 0. So if I run this now, it should display the exit tab button. As you can see, sorry people, I had to switch my ID because there were some problems with the spider. So nonetheless, when we hit run, and you can see this exit app button, the exit app button is created, and once I hit exit app, the app is simply closed. So that's how you create the exit app button. The next step is to give this color to the user interface. We can do that by just doing window.configure, and I'll specify the background color bg equals this is the hex value I'm giving it, 00 E triple F. This is the hex value for the color. It's blue. So as you can see, this is converted into blue, but the widgets are still in this default color. So how to change that, I'll just go over here to this line and say I'll place a parameter bg equals, and I'll pass the same color that I did for the user interface, the app user interface. It's 00E FFF, and once I hit, it's triple F, sorry, and once I hit, this color is flushed with the background, and same goes with this as well. So I'll just go over here, choose format, yeah, I'll just say bg equals as 00E FFF, and I'll say hit enter, and now you can see the whole thing is flushed with one single color. And now we'll just test this. I'll just provide a website, google.com, and I'll leave this default as .png, and I'll say QR code generated. Now we can see it says success. And now to add this app icon, we'll just go over here and say photo equals tk dot photo image file equals qr1.png. Now this file is the icon file for the app interface. I'll just show you how this looks like. Yeah, this is. So this is basically a .png file. It's not an icon file, keep that in mind. This is a .png file. It's not just like an image. You can just create it on Photoshop or just download it from Google, from many websites like flaticons.com, etc. It's just a 64 by 64 bitmap image. You just need to specify the path for it. Make sure that you keep the source code and the file in the same folder, so it will not create any further conflicts. And I'll just need to set this photo window.icon photo. I'll say false and pass the variable as photo, because this is the variable that's holding my image. And once I hit run, you can see this takes in this image and sets it as the icon for the app. So that's pretty much about the app. Now you can see this, I did not run this app from the source code. It had a icon like a normal app. So to do that, it's very simple. Just save the file, copy the file, copy the source code and copy the png file, the icon file, and place them in a separate folder. I'll just name this folder as test, and I'll just place them here, and I'll open a terminal from here, and I'll say py installer. This is a command used to convert a .py file into an executable file in Linux. So I'll just use this .py installer command, and I'll just rename this for simplicity as qr app.py. Remember not to change the extension of this source code, keep it as it is, qr app.py, and I'll pass the parameters to convert it into one file, and icon equals icon, and I'll hit enter. And once I hit enter, it starts it starts packaging in the source code into an application file. So as you can see, it says completed successfully. I'll just close this terminal, and once you close this terminal, you'll notice these many folders over here. It's just normal. Navigate to dist folder, and you can see this QR app. Now once you double click this, you'll see it won't open. It's because there are few errors yet to be resolved. The one is the app image, the icon file is missing from this folder, So I'll just copy this into this folder. It is not allowed to execute as a executable file. So to change that, I'll just go to properties and then head over to permissions tab and check this allow executing file as a program. Once you check this, close this and just double click, and the QR code is app is open, and you just check this, test this by giving a dummy URL google.com, and I'll leave the option as .png by default and hit generate QR. It says success, and a QR code is generated over here. As you can see, this is generated and it is saved with .png format. And now if I choose .svg without altering this and hit generate, it generates a QR code with a .svg extension. You can choose any of the extensions for options to choose the QR to save the QR code and basically use it elsewhere. So that is just about the app, and I'll just exit the app. So that's pretty much it about the app. If you want to download the source code and application files, you can always do that through my GitHub account. I'll just post the links for the same in the description below. Please check it out. Thank you.